I mean, if you beat him after that, it don't count. You understand me? So it's not that. I'm not saying Floyd's not a great fighter, but I can't put him ahead of guys who have crossed that line like that. When I put you in with an equal opposition, Floyd would beat Sugar. No, baby, Floyd is not as nearly as mean as Sugar was.
You don't think you would have beat him?
How? How you gonna keep him off? Sugar is a dog. People don't, just cause his name Sugar don't mean nothing.
It's been orchestrated, I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
Roy Jones Jr. openly challenged Floyd Mayweather, surprising Stephen A. Smith. He claimed Floyd's record, while shiny, came from fighting big-name opponents past their best years. Roy argued Mayweather never truly tested himself against a dangerous puncher in their prime. In his eyes, Floyd's career was more about avoiding risk than proving himself as the absolute best in the sport.
Mayweather, Roy.
I don't know what's going on with him. Sugar Ray Leonard said himself he thought he would beat him. The reason I tell people I thought Sugar would beat him is because when you mention great fighters, right? 90% of your great fighters are black, the ones from the past. Now, with the Eastern Bloc coming on like they are, there's going to be some great ones coming on now. Even with Lil Tony, as you see it, these guys are going to be great. They're going to start eclipsing and coming up there too. But right now, if you had to name 5 of the best fighters of all time, 4 of them are going to be black. You understand me? Who did he beat that was black in his prime, that was in their prime, that was on his level? Nobody. Sugar Ray Leonard beat Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns twice, Roberto Duran, who would be one of the other people on that pound list. He beat guys that were Floyd Mayweather Sr. He beat guys that were at their prime, no matter what color they were. He beat all of them at their prime. Him and Tommy fought when they both had O's. Not when Tommy got beat by Iran Barkley. That's too late to beat Tommy. If you beat him after that, it don't count. You understand me? So it's not that. I'm not saying Floyd's not a great fighter, but I can't put him ahead of guys who have crossed that line like that. When I put you in with an equal opposition, now I can judge and say, hey, you did that, you go on that line. But Terrence Crawford was there all these years. He never fought him. He fought Canelo, who was way younger than Crawford, 3 years younger than Crawford. But Crawford was there too, but you never called Crawford's name.
Is there like some sort of tensions and beef between you? Or?
He got mad because I said that on All the Smoke, and then he started put up some video of him watching some of the fights I had in my later career where I got knocked out. He said, look at the highlights. Yeah, they make the highlights, but those highlights are probably more exciting than your highlights. Still, you feel me? But when you play with me, I'm not ducking and dodging nothing. Still, my name's still Roy Jones Jr. I don't care. I get in shape right now for anybody. Running ain't my game. I never duck and dodge. I'm not that guy.
Do you think he'll fight you?
I don't know if he will. I'm welcome. I'm wide open for it. So let's go.
And on that note, always a pleasure, my man. Thank you.
Stephen A. Smith praises Floyd Mayweather's greatness, recalling one of his finest moments, defeating the young, strong Canelo Alvarez. He explains how Floyd entered that match with a hand injury, something most fighters would never risk, yet still outclassed his opponent. Smith highlights Mayweather's skill, composure, and ring intelligence, saying if you could beat Canelo at his peak for him, this performance proves why Floyd is among boxing's greatest. Despite the injury, Floyd never wavered, showing exactly what made him special.
Floyd Mayweather looks me in my face, and he says, I'm going to take him out about the 8th or 9th round. And I said, your hand's always broken. You ain't known for your punching power since you moved up from lightweight to welterweight. Why are you so sure you're going to do this? He said, Stephen A., he's a UFC fighter. He said, and he's a striker. He's accustomed to coming at you and throwing punches. What he's not accustomed to doing is punching while he's throwing backwards, while he's moving backwards and pushing you off of him. He says, I'm going to walk right into him and stay in his chest. He's going to have to push me off in order to throw his punches. He said he's going to be circling the ring. He said by around 4 or 5, he's not going to have any legs. He's going to be done. And he said, and I'll just toy with him and keep him around until around the 8th or the 9th round. And that is exactly what Floyd Money Mayweather did.
Boxers, if not the greatest boxer in history. He's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago. And for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor. Not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
I just believe.
Roy Jones Jr. doesn't just doubt Floyd Mayweather's legacy. He tears it apart. He says Floyd's 50-0 record was more about careful planning than pure dominance. Roy claims Mayweather avoided prime, dangerous fighters, relying on smart matchmaking instead of risking defeat. To him, true greatness comes from facing danger and surviving it. He adds that real boxing fans can see the gaps in Floyd's image. It's not about envy. He says it's about telling the truth.
Even at this age, who's better? Let's do it. We don't got to do subliminals. Roy Jones, 56 years of age, right? If you don't know, Roy Jones, who's 66 wins, 10 losses, no draw, 47 wins by way of knockout. He was knocked out 5 times in his career. Stands at 5'11" with a 74-inch arm reach. Roy Jones was asked a few times, particularly he did an interview with another Hall of Famer, an Olympic gold medalist, 2-division world champion retired, Andre S.O.G. Ward. And Roy Jones was asked about, what his thoughts is of Floyd Mayweather. He's always been very outspoken when it comes to Floyd Mayweather. He's never kept it a secret. He don't value Floyd Mayweather because Floyd Mayweather made a statement about Roy Jones' icon, right? A guy he looked up to, the GOAT, that many people believe, Muhammad Ali. When Floyd Mayweather made the comments that Muhammad Ali is not better than him, that he's better than Muhammad Ali, Roy Jones didn't take that too light. Roy Jones was not happy with that. He said, how you going to say you better than the GOAT? How you going to say you better than somebody that paved the way for us all? How you going to say, that you could beat Muhammad Ali? You a small guy. You understand what I'm saying? And rightfully so, I get it. But Roy Jones, got to understand, everybody's mindset ain't his mindset, right? Everybody don't have the same mindset. Everybody's not looking at it the same way, right? Floyd Mayweather always says this. It is no disrespect to no other fighter, but I ain't getting the sport of boxing to say no fighter is better than me. And he ain't supposed to, right? You get in this, yeah, you have idols, you have icons, you have people that pave the way that you look up to, but you get in it to be better than them, right? It's just like being a parent, right? You want your kids to be better than you, not equal to you, not on the same level, but you want them to be better than you. And that's how Floyd Mayweather look at it. Yeah, Muhammad Ali paved the way. Yes, he's great, but guess what? I ain't getting in this sport to say somebody's better than me. Now, where Floyd Mayweather went a little sideways to the people when Muhammad Ali's kids and family got involved, his daughter Layla Ali, they wasn't happy. And then Floyd said, well, listen.
As Roy Jones Jr. speaks out, more people begin to see his perspective. He isn't talking from spite or from experience in the sport's toughest battles. At his peak, Roy was lightning fast, powerful and creative, making dangerous fights look easy. His career was full of moments where he faced real threats head-on. That's why his words hit hard. They come from someone who's lived it.
Roy Jones Jr. is telling the truth about Floyd Mayweather Jr. Finally, as the two of these incredible fighters have been going back and forth in the media, trading barbs, trading insults. But as people listen and look, one thing that stands out to me is that you guys must have really forgotten how great a fighter Roy Jones Jr. was at his peak. When you look at Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s whole career, you see a perfect career, incredible fights, no losses. But what you won't see is any time in his career where he was as good and as dominant at his peak as Roy Jones Jr. was. Roy Jones Jr. was one of the best fighters, pound for pound, #1 fighter in the sport of boxing for over a decade, and he deserves respect for that. Now, specifically about what Floyd Mayweather Jr. had to say and the insult that he had about Muhammad Ali, that's what is at the root of Roy Jones Jr.'s problem with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Because Floyd Mayweather Jr., despite how great he is absolutely positively an egomaniac, seemingly incapable of giving other people their credit. If you can't give credit to Muhammad Ali as being one of the top 5 fighters of your lifetime, Floyd, stop it. You know full well that he is a better fighter than Roberto Duran and that you are just being petty and insulting about the man. And I applaud Roy Jones Jr. for checking Floyd Mayweather on that. And he isn't the first person to check Floyd about that. Mike Tyson said the same thing. Floyd is just an incredibly, incredibly gifted person in the ring, but outside the ring, I think it's kind of hard to find anybody that's a bigger jackass than Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Clarissa Shields, an Olympic champion and one of boxing's most respected voices, has stepped into the debate between Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. in her social media posts. She's made it clear the only real answer is a fight. While she respects Floyd's skills and accomplishments, she questions their true weight without facing a massive challenge she believes a bout with Roy, proven across many weight classes, would show if Floyd's legendary status is deserved. For her, action should decide greatness, not just reputation.